Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another one of my little tried and tested reviews. Feedback on the last couple have been really good, saying why don't more people do stuff that's actually been properly tried and tested. Well, in this one I'm not going to disappoint. This is something that I've certainly tried and I've certainly tested over an awful lot of years. Now, while navigation isn't at the top of the list when we think of bushcraft skills, it's still one that we should have a working knowledge of and one that we should practice regularly. Now, it might just be that we're using those skills to navigate into an area to bushcraft in, but also at all times we should have a reasonable idea of our own orientation of where we are and where other things are, and for both of those instances we need to have a working knowledge of navigation. Now, there's quite a bit of kit that's associated with navigation, not so much on these, the maps, because the maps here in the UK tend to all be provided by one main supplier, which is the Ordnance Survey. There are a couple of other smaller providers out there, but for most people Ordnance Survey is the way to go. For compasses, however, there's quite a few different brands and there's also a lot of different models. Over the years I've used quite a few different ones. I've used the large prismatic type compass, I've used sighting compasses, I've used orienteering compasses, I've even used the little tiny button compasses. The one I tend to go for most of the time, for if I'm out in hills or mountains, is one of these, and this is a silver protractor compass. Ideal for navigating across large distances and ideal for pinpoint navigation. I can navigate very accurately with this. I've got a sighting compass as well, where if I need to be really precise, then I tend to use that. And these are ideal for navigating when you need to be precise for safety reasons. You don't want to fall off the edge of a cliff in bad visibility, or you want to know where a particular water source is and make your way straight to that water source. But what I have found over the years is that for most of my bushcrafting needs and my day-to-day needs, I don't need a great big compass like this. In fact, this one has seen less and less use over the years because I use something much smaller and that's much more easily accessible. And that is a compass that fits on my watch strap. And this allows me to just glance down and stay orientated. I tend to find when I'm using a map, I tend to orientate my map to the ground mostly, and I only need the compass very occasionally to help me orientate them. So my little watch strap compass is pretty much ideal for everything that I do. Probably 90% of my navigation work is done on this little tiny compass. And this is the Suunto Clipper compass. I've had it for many years. It's been very reliable. I didn't buy it myself, it was bought as a gift by my brother, and we were trying to work out how long ago we bought it, and we think it was at least 15 years ago. It must have been quite a few years ago, because when I first got this, it had bearings all the way around the movable dial, and the movable dial had quite not sharp edges but very pronounced edges. Well, all of those are gone now. You can just about make out the images in the plastic of where the bearings were, and all of the edges are very rounded and very polished. Now, this isn't the first one that I had. The first one I had a blue face on it. The difference between this one and that one is the cardinal points on this one are luminous, and even after 15 years it still glows really well in the dark. It's very, very simple to use. It's got a little sighting mark, a direction of travel arrow that I can point, and if I'm using the bearings on it, back when it still had numbers, I just dial in the bearing that I want, hold it up and look along that line. It's an ideal compass for when you're on the move because I don't have to reach into a pocket and get a compass out. I literally look down at my wrist and it tells me what direction I'm heading in. It's been fairly robust as well over the years. Now I'm left-handed and I wear my watch on my left hand. I also tend to use my left hand for when I'm doing axe work, so it sees quite a bit of vibration. In the 15 years that I've had this, one tiny little bubble has appeared. This, I think, is probably the best compass I've ever owned, and I've owned quite a few. It's simple, it's reliable, it's not particularly expensive, and I can carry it with me everywhere I go. So if you're in the market for a new compass, or perhaps you're just starting out, I would heartily recommend the little Suunto Clipper compass. I think it's great value for money, it's durable, it's easy to use, and it's so light and small, you can carry it with you every day, and you don't even notice you're carrying it. If you found this review useful, and I hope you have, then please hit that like button. If you think somebody else will find it useful, then share it with somebody else. And of course, if you want to leave a comment underneath, please feel free. My email address will come up on the screen in a bit, and please feel free to email me with inquiries or comments or just general stuff, and quite a few people do. You can always pop over to the Etsy shop and see what stuff we've got over there, and it's stuff that I've made myself. You'll also find over there my Greencraft patches, the nice little woven patches that I have on my day sack and on some of my smocks. And I sell quite a few of those and they get shipped out all over the world. So why not show your support for the channel and get yourself one of the Greencraft patches. I've been Neil, and as always, stay safe.